All right, traveling with Dystonia part 2. So the first day on our way from Saint-Jean-de-Pied-de-Port to Roncesvalles, I met a woman, met a lot of people that day, but I met a woman named Susan who had 3 broken toes. And as we were walking, everyone kind of separates eventually as you're walking. You might be walking together, but then you kind of break apart. And I was like, when I broke apart and Kim and I were walking together later, I said, she's not gonna make it. I don't know how she could possibly make it with 3 broken toes. And so, to my surprise, 5 days later, when we were in Punta Lorena, which was Bridge of the Queen, which I'm sure I'm not saying correctly, I heard her voice in the same albergue we were staying in. I said, oh, Susan's here. And Kim went, hey, would you like to go out to dinner with us tonight? And she said, oh, yes, of course, of course. So we were all getting ready, showers and washing clothes and everything else we need to do on this trip. And Kim goes, hey, let's go. And she steps to the door. Susan's outside, and I step behind her, and Susan's like, okay, yeah, I'll be ready to go. And then she looks at Kim, and then she looks at me, and then she looks at Kim, and then she looks at me, and she goes, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. And I'm like, oh no, I think this is my fault. My head is shaking, and so she's not understanding that I am not telling her to say no about coming to dinner with Kim, but it's just my head shaking. So she said, I don't know what to do. And I said, I'm sorry, this is my fault because I didn't explain to you ever that I have a movement disorder. And I shake my head. And she was like, my head shakes. And she was like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I said anything. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it is not a problem. I said, I didn't explain it to you. Don't worry about it. And then she started laughing. And she said, I'm not laughing at you. And I said, I didn't think you were. She goes, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe that I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, okay, unless I say something to you, you're not going to know what's going on. You're not just going to see someone and say, oh, look, they're shaking. They must have a movement disorder. So we became very good friends as it was. We traveled almost the whole rest of the Camino together, and we entered Santiago on the same day. So Susan was great. I enjoyed our trips together, and she liked to remind me when people would be like, what's going on? She would like to explain, oh, Lisa has a movement disorder. There was another time I was explaining to someone I was walking with, and I said, by the way, I have a movement disorder and my head shakes. And he said, oh, really? He goes, I thought that was just you because you have such a bubbly personality. I thought you just move around a lot, like there's music in your head. I was like, oh, maybe I should start doing that. Maybe I should just pretend there's music in my head all the time. But traveling with dystonia can be a challenge, but it's not a good idea to stay home and not travel because you have dystonia. It's not a good idea to stay home and not live your life because you have dystonia. You need to get out. You need to live your life. You need to quit being worried that people are going to think something's wrong with them, because guess what? Something is wrong with us. So thanks so much for checking in today, and Traveling with Dystonia Part 2.